that is why it's also so precious for all to return back home here, because then you live life in a very simple way, very content, very peaceful, because you allow everything to be. And this is not in a passive way, but from a more deeper place of all allowing, because you know who you are. But at first, when one is getting ready to open to full consciousness, well, at first, one needs to start refamiliarizing with how it is to be natural and how it is for you. How is that expressed through you? Because full consciousness is one, and yet that is expressed through this soul. So there is no one particular way how you should be. And there is no one judging you or telling you how you should be. It is only you upon yourself that you create certain ideas and restrictions of how the natural self is. But beyond that, naturalness is. Naturalness has always been this boundless, open, immense clarity, beyond all conditionings, beyond all restrictions, beyond all limitations of any kind. And that is why it is such a freedom to return to your natural self. What a relief to be you. What a liberation. And then how simple, what seems to be so extraordinary merges with the ordinary. And how simple it is to be that, with having no fixations, no ideas, nothing of that kind. Just this spontaneous, open, natural beingness, where what flows through you is authentic. And for that, only you know that as it moves through you. This absolute self, it fully includes the whole experience. And within the whole experience, there is only the self. So you see, when one awakens to the first stage of enlightenment, which is the light of awareness, one may not be able to distinguish much here from this inner direct experience, because it may seem to be similar, may seem to be similar. But the light of awareness is more of a mental structure, mental light, and it requires one to return to awareness. It requires one to return to pure subject. Yeah. But the natural self, the natural boundless of the full consciousness, is beyond the pure subject. It's even more natural than that. It's even a much more intense and much deeper light, much higher, much brighter light. As it is the light of divine. It's not a mental light. As awareness is more related to the mental universe. But the light of source, of full consciousness, that is already in divine, in the eternal infinity. And that is why from the first opening into the natural self, although the search fades away, the separation fades away, and you are returned back to the one, but still there is more degrees and more depth into that natural state, into that light of full consciousness. Because that light of full consciousness is boundless and infinite. So the intensity and the depth of that light of the source strengthens, deepens. So when the next moment a resistance arises, just remember that even that resistance is already encompassed by the natural self. And if that is acknowledged, then that resistance can start to unwind, it starts to soften. These resistances, you all know what they are. They're the edges, those edges. And they begin to unwind, they begin to dismantle, because you're acknowledging the natural way and the natural self, and that the natural self is already here and undivided and inseparable. So then we can surrender more easily. We can allow more softly.